Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Akil and welcome back to another review, guys. Yes, I know it's been a very long time since I've actually done a movie or review. Well, not that long. I mean, the last one was what, Deadpool and Wolverine, but it does feel like it's been quite a while since I've actually talked about a new movie on the channel. I know my last couple of videos have been mainly anime based. But that's just because I've been, going through anime I've never really seen before. And I apologize also, I've not seen Venom. I will at some point eventually before the end of the year. And also, I've almost done Yu Yu Hakusho season 2. So I'm mentioning this now so I don't, blabber on towards the end of the review like I normally do. So there's that. But anyway, I saw Argyle today. What did I think of it? Well, honestly, I can understand why people were not really feeling it when it came to this movie. And I'm glad I didn't watch this in theaters because, man, I am disappointed. I'm disappointed in the cast. And I'm also disappointed in Matthew Vaughn in particular because I liked Layer Cake and I like Stardust, but I didn't love those movies. And the Kingsman films and everything else he's done, I don't really care for. Oh yeah, and X-Men First Class, I can't forget that. He also directed that as well, I should say. He did a good job with that. That actually might be my favorite film from him. But this, out of now the four films I've seen from him, this is my least favorite, which is unfortunate because I actually do think Matthew Vaughn is a solid director, but definitely not one of my favorites. But he has a very unique style, much like Guy Ritchie and some other directors too, where it feels very like flashy and over the top at times. So there's that. Now, to start up with for my pre-rating score, I'm gonna say that Argyle is an okay movie, guys. Unfortunately, this movie was not, all that good, but it wasn't like terrible or bad like some people are making out to be. And I'll explain why when we get to the positives, I would say. So there's that. Now, the story of this movie is that you have this writer called Elly Conway, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she's written these books about Argyle, who in the film is played by Henry Cavill. And one day she comes across an actual spy played by Sam Rockwell, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Because after that, the movie just goes into crazy directions, quite a few twists, I would say. And yeah, that's what I can say about it. It's just basically Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell pretty much together for the majority of the film, and the cat as well known as Alfie, who is just super cute, even though I know that's CGI, I would say, for the most part. I believe it is. So that's that. Now, going into the positives, the acting in this movie is actually good. I actually liked all the performances and all the actors and actresses on screen. There were like two people in this movie that I actually had no idea would actually be in this movie. I was like, this person's in this movie? She's in this movie as well? Alright, sure, why not? But oh well, it is what it is, I would say. So for the so there's that. But all the actors did a good job, Henry Cavill and Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, they all did a good job. Dua Lipa, who you've seen in the trailer, she's barely in this movie, and I know I shouldn't say that, but the movie's been out for a while, and I know some people really don't care about this movie though, so I'm just gonna say she's barely in this movie. So there's that. But I thought acting wise, everyone did a good job too. Bryan Cranston, Samuel Jackson, they all played their role well enough, I would say. So there's that. But it's not like you're expecting two of the four performances in this movie. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but it is what it is. So there's that. Another thing I liked in this movie was some of the characters. I liked Bryce, that was Howard's character, Sam Rockwell's character. I liked some of the other characters too, Henry Cavill with the crazy haircut and all that. It was cool to see him actually in a role like this. I mean, we still aren't gonna get him as Bond, but this is still close enough, I would say. So there's that. And I like some of the other characters too, like the cat as well, like super cute, adorable cat. Even though face wise not the best, but still, definitely has its moments, I would say. Now, another final thing I liked in this movie was the editing. I thought the movie was edited pretty damn well. And I know I don't usually talk about like technical aspects a lot in my reviews. I usually talk about like directing and acting and writing, sometimes music and sometimes cinematography, or if not a lot of times. But here, the editing I actually have to bring up. It's edited very, very well. And that's something that really can make or break a movie, and I really like how they cut back and forth between it sometimes. So there's that. Sometimes it can feel a bit jarring, but other times I think it works very well. Now, going into the negatives, this is where I felt the movie really started to slowly kind of fall apart a bit. The pacing. This movie is paced pretty poorly. Not the whole film. The first hour or so, I would say, is actually paced pretty damn well. But the second hour, the second half of the film is where you really start to feel the movie that's dragging out. I have no idea why. It just keeps dragging out. Speaking of which, and the second half, there's too many twists. This is the first time I've ever noticed a movie have like twist after twist after twist. It's like, why? What are they trying to do here? Seriously, it's not needed. Like, I get what they're trying to do here, but you don't need so many twists in one movie. Like, I really don't see the point. I don't know why the writer, I think it's Fuchs, who wrote the script. I think it's just him. I don't know why he wrote the script like this, seriously. And I don't know why Matthew Vaughn was like, you know what? I like this. Let's give the audience something totally unexpected and a wild, crazy ride. Speaking of which, this movie is also messy. It doesn't know which character to really focus on or which storyline to really focus on. Do they focus on Elly's life or the spy stuff or like all these other characters? Like, what? What are they trying to actually focus on and do? I don't know. Tonally, it can also be all over the place, but I'm willing to let it go because it's a movie like this, what can you really expect? So, yeah, apart from the pacing, it being a mess, and also, too many twists, I wasn't really full on bothered by this movie, guys. I wouldn't say it was boring as well. There was just definitely something interesting going on, but I wasn't laughing a ton. The action sequences didn't blow me away. I thought this was a very fine, little generic type of film with a cast that's actually having fun. You can definitely tell the actors are having fun on screen, and that's something to see. So it's not like a middle of the road movie for me because, if it were, I'll be like, some of the acting wasn't the best, and it wasn't like the story was super like boring and bland. Like the first hour I actually didn't mind it, but then the second half of the third act especially, I was like, where is this going? Like what are they trying to do here? But overall I thought Argyle was alright for the most part. So as a final score, I'm gonna give Argyle a 6 out of 10. I think that's a fairly solid little rating for the movie. I don't think it's the worst of the year, it might be, but I give Tiger's Apprentice a 6. I give Spaceman a 6. I'll give this a 6. It could be a 5. I actually was thinking, should I give this a 5? Am I being too lenient? But the more I think about it, it didn't really bother me that much, I felt like the pacing, the messiness, and too many twists are the only three things that bring the movie down, It wasn't like I was bored, but I didn't really laugh a ton. The action sequences didn't blow me away. But no, I'm keeping it at 6. The only way it could actually be a 5 is the acting was like I wasn't really feeling it, or the editing wasn't there, or it wasn't like going in places that I was like, oh, why are we doing this, you know what I mean? But I will say that this movie, the best part about it is that you can definitely see they're at least trying to do something different. I'll give the movie that. They're trying to do something different. I know people have shitted on this movie in the past and all that, but what I will say is that even though this is one of those generic movies that has a big cast, kind of a big director, and a big budget, at least they try to do something different. It's not like, oh, like, Ghosted, like that's a 6 out of 10 for me too, because it's a very decent watch. This is the same thing too, and it's also an Apple TV Plus film, and there's been other movies that have come on streaming that people have said, oh, this feels like very generic and other. Like, I personally love The Gray Man, and if I rewatch it I might still love it as well. But this is one of those movies that maybe if I rewatch I might either like more or like less. But the more I think about it, there's not a whole lot of big flaws in this movie. It's just the pacing, the messiness, and also too many twists. That's really it, guys. That's all I really have to say. I wasn't bothered by anything else. The story didn't bother me and all that type of stuff. But guys, that's all I have to say for this movie. And yeah, that's all I have to say for Argyle. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Argyllle, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.